Y'all ready to roll? It's time for the remix. It's time to see that dude parlay Mateos Lane in Deez GLP-1 Streets. Known by many as Paul on wheels. We making it do what it does. Letting people know how I feel. Let's roll. Yeah, we talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. In GLP-1 Streets, we moving with pride. Hear the trends, hear the wins. Got creators worldwide, we make it do what it does. Never stopping to climb, living better every day, one step at a time. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. It's dairy on with the fire, got that GLP-1 feel. Did it the downsizing diva, simply Taisha in the zone. Losing it grades, bring the truth, steady holding her own. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly Pamela moving strong, everybody know her name. Pammy in the mix too, yeah, we shout her out the same. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the rise. G's one running balls, baby, locked in on that lifestyle prize. Traces of twine, stay consistent every day. Cookie cheering everybody on in a special way. Maya Mindy holding it down from the start. Purple bell flowers slid into them jeans, did apart. Melt of the beat, keeping the conscience tight. Bar pelt at any cost, queen of the streets. That's right, yeah. Chris conquering the scale, yeah, he taking control. Life is shy, glowing steady, body and soul. Reset with honey sub, keeping focus aligned. Grand on his GLP-1 journey review, dropping knowledge every time. Paula doing the thing, staying strong, staying locked in, pushing right along. Just do it, Brit. You got it, smart. Don't quit. It gets better bit by bit. Ain't me losing it steady, keeping a stride. Bound to me in the mix with that purpose and pride. Jen supporting the crew, showing love front row. Carnival muscle bringing discipline to the flow. Keely Eddie from across the sea. Alonda pushing through, never quitting the seat. My man G with my rolling life on track. Sweet tea singing while she dropping that slack. Vanity keeping everybody on their toes. Welcome TT to the club, that's how it goes. Miss Toilet review, teaching in the classroom and the streets. Mia doing a thing with that grind on repeat. From the south, Kimmy J, now Renee 1C. Lakeisha on the journey, chasing victory. Those is the shawties, steady making play. And Jen in the comments, dropping knowledge every day. And if I missed anybody, just know I love y'all. We'll put you in a remix one day. We'll put you in a remix one day. Yeah. Arjadine, Felicia Murray B, and Joe's cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the light that we see. Welcome to Deez GLP-1 Streets.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to Deez GLP-1 Streets. What's happening? It's me, Paul Amadeus Lander. You can call me Paul on Wheels. I am so delighted to have you on this episode. Thank y'all so much. I am so happy to have my guest on. I mean, this guy right here, this dude right here, I say is the GOAT when it comes to these GLP-1 streets. What he was able to do on this journey has been simply amazing. And we're going to have an opportunity to chat with him and find out more about his story, but also get his take on what's happening in the world of GLP-1s, what we see might happen this year. We might even cover some controversial subjects out there. And, we're going to do that. And thank y'all, too, for checking out my last two videos that I just dropped. I know, they can be kind of controversial, but we appreciate, everyone and their view, because I think sometimes we need to have kind of like the tough conversations when it comes to this lifestyle journey. We can discuss things and be respectful about it, and let's do it. But thank y'all. I really appreciate it. So without any further delay, hold on. Before I bring him on, if y'all wouldn't mind doing me a favor, like the stream, share the stream too, because everyone needs to hear RMZ's story. So without any further delay, let's bring on the GOAT, my brother, Mr. RMZ. What's going on, RMZ? How you doing, bro?
Oh, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I am doing fantastic. It is so great to see you. So great to chat with you, my friend. And how you been, man?
Been good, man. A little bit under the weather, but other than that, doing good.
How's everything going in Lost Wages?
Man, it's been cold. Cold, brother. Waking up at 30 degrees in the morning.
Wow.
I ain't used to that out here.
I know. It's like, you and I kind of live in similar climates, and that's one thing that I've been checking out. It's been really, really cold in the morning, and in about 3 months, man, it's gonna be triple digits. We're gonna be praying for.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we're supposed to be at 80 by the end of the week. So I'm looking forward to that.
And I know we're gonna be in the 70s up here in the high Deez, man. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that, man. Well, thank you for carving out some time so that you and I can have this chat. And for ones who may not know your journey, know about what you've been through in these GLP-1 streets, if you don't mind, let us know, have you always struggled with obesity, or was it something that you just had to deal with in your adult life? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, of course. It was an adult life thing for me. I was a college athlete. I played through high school, and honestly, it was hard for me to keep on weight. I tried to play around 245, 250, and it was hard for me to keep on that weight because of all the activity that I was going through with the training, playing, and training and lifting weights and all that stuff. But in the course of playing football, I did a lot of damage to my body, and it caught up to me, especially after my college career ended. I had the mindset that I was just going to take a year off or so to let my body recover, and the more time that I spent sitting down, the more difficult it became for me to move, and then got into a career and became coaches for my kids and transporting them to and from their practices and games and after school events, and being a married man and all that stuff. You start living a sedentary lifestyle, and it starts to compound on you. And because my lack of mobility and my sedentary lifestyle, I put on weight really quick, especially the way that I was eating. I was still eating like I was burning 5,000 calories a day, but I wasn't, and it caught up to me. So I started developing sleep apnea and all kind of different health issues, pre-diabetes. At one point, I got up to 358 pounds, and I was having that. They were doing pulmonary tests on me because I was having trouble breathing, walking upstairs, and I was having edema and swelling in my legs, and my health was really, really bad. But that's my history in a nutshell.
I'm gonna ask you a really dumb question. When I say this, did you feel like you were 358 pounds?
When I was walking upstairs, sometimes I did. In my mind, I kind of tricked myself thinking I was still that guy that was 245, 250 pounds. But as you get older, that stuff catches up with you, and you start, everything start compounding. I had to have surgeries. I've had 9 or so different surgeries trying to become more mobile. And that includes 2 bariatric surgeries to try to lose weight so I can get more mobile as well. But looking in the mirror, looking at pictures, because I avoided pictures, so I wasn't in a whole lot of them. But looking in the mirror, you still have this idea of yourself as, I'm still that 22-year-old guy, and nothing can be further from the truth, and kind of trick your mind, and you have that same kind of effect coming down from that weight, because it took me a long time to really see the impact of my weight loss once the weight started coming off. And it took me months for my brain to catch up with what was happening with my body. And that took me looking at pictures and videos. I was like, oh, okay, I can see it now. Everyone else was seeing it, but I couldn't see it.
I feel you on that, bro.
Yeah.
You know, when I got my biggest, I thought I was still like in the 270s, the 260s, and the 250s. You know, and the way I've never shared this with anyone before. So you and the rest of the crew that's in the audience are going to hear this for the very first time. You probably shopped where I shopped at RMZ, Big and Tall, DXL.
Yep.
And rainy days, she tricked me. So I would find a shirt and I wouldn't try it on because she knew that I wasn't going to try it on. So I would say, I'm going to get this shirt. So as I am looking at other clothes, she would get the next bigger shirt. So I thought I was like a 4XL, but she would go and get a 5XL. And it wasn't until, man, during the pandemic, like maybe 2023, 2022, that she told me that.
Yeah.
Here I am thinking I had 4XLs or 5XL shirts. So that's how much in denial I was in with how much weight I was gaining. Yeah. And I tell you, the mental thing that goes through your brain when you're having this challenge with obesity, man, it can have you just lying to yourself about how you look, how you feel, and everything.
It's a big disconnect for real.
Yeah, it is. I wanted also to ask you about, you had bariatric surgery. What was it about the bariatric surgery and how it didn't or it did help you out in this journey? Can you share your view on that? Because one thing I'm noticing that there's ones who've had bariatric surgery before who are now on the GLP-1s and talk about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, I've had two. I had at the lap band in 2009, and that wasn't that successful for me. I probably lost. I was probably 330 or so when I got that, and I probably got down to 300 at the lowest, maybe 290. But I had a lot of problem. You have this physical restriction that's around your esophagus with the lap band, and it's supposed to stop you from eating, but you don't have that signaling from your stomach up to your head to tell you to stop eating. So you tend to overeat. And I was a grazer. I would always graze, and I can eat one more bite. Or I was raised to, and I mentioned this before, I had to eat everything on my plate before I got up. So that became habit for me. I couldn't get up from a plate or push it away unless I ate everything on that plate. So overeating, that restriction, causes you to throw up. And it's the worst feeling in the world. You think your esophagus is gonna bust because you got this restriction with saline in it that's trying to restrict your esophagus. And there's a couple times where I spent like an hour like getting ready to throw up. It took that long for the food to come up, and eventually I got all the scar tissue around my esophagus, and they took the saline out because they were going to do a revision for me to a gastric sleeve. But when they went in to take the sleeve out, or the lap band out, they saw the scarring on my esophagus and said it needed to heal first. So they took it all out, and I was without anything for about, I want to say at least 2 years, and my weight shot up to 358, and that's the highest I've ever been. And then I started developing all the different health problems. My diet, my A1C got up to 6.3. I think my triglycerides were somewhere in the 700 to 800s. My HDL was low. My LDL was high. My blood pressure was bad. And so when I got the sleeve, I was 358. Now the sleeve worked a lot better for me. I went from 358 on the sleeve down to 274 at my lowest. And I kind of settled in around 280, 285 with working out and all of that. And so the same kind of thing there, where you get this restriction from the removal of the stomach, and the stomach becomes like the size of a banana and whatnot. So they teach you how to eat, where you're eating protein first, and if you can get to the other stuff like the carbs and whatnot, then you get to it. And you don't drink. You drink 30 minutes before you eat to fill your stomach up, and then you wait 30 minutes until you finish eating to drink again, to let that food settle in there, so you feel hunger, so you feel full longer. So I had that same restriction, but and I maintained, like I said, I maintained around 280, 285 for a few years, up until 2020. So about 5 years I was holding my own, and then the pandemic hit, and the food noise that I know about now just took off like a rocket ship, because I was stressing about everything. That one thing that was missing from both the lap band and the sleeve was the signaling that the GLP-1 provide to tell me to stop eating, and it just shuts everything down for me. So if I would have had this medication in 2009 or 2015, I probably wouldn't have gone through with those surgeries.
I'm glad you shared that, RMZ. I love 600 Pound Life. Dr. Now, that's my guy. And I would often wonder, and that's just me being ignorant, when someone went through all these different surgeries and they go see Dr. Paradise or Dr. Lola, and they just couldn't get it together. But it wasn't until I got in these GLP-1 streets and taking these GLP-1s that I was like, man, the food noise quieting is real. I mean, it just, and I didn't have real bad food noise. I had selective food noise, certain days, like especially on Sundays after I went to the buffet and had me some champagne and then I want some tahini gummy bears after, and then I would just gorge. Now, rainy days, man, she had the food noise out of this world, man. And she'll tell you too. She's on 8 milligrams now of a tirzepatide compound, and she still has a little bit of food noise, but not that bad. I told her, wait until you get to that Mac 10. You get to that Mac 10, it's gonna shut it down. And you ain't gonna have it. Let me welcome everyone to our special interview with the GOAT, RMZ. We're talking about his story, his journey. Hello to everyone in the chat. Thank y'all so much for the shout outs. We really appreciate that. And if you have any questions, hit a Q in front of it and we'll definitely get to it. And Purple Bellflower, thank you so much. She named GLP-1 Streets. Everyone in these GLP-1 Streets chat. Thank you, Purple Bellflower. I'm going to adopt that name. And a shout out to the downsizing diva, Deez, Sister Shay, had her 2-year Zepbound. So congratulations, Deez.
Yes, Deez.
I said, Deez, you one of the OGs. So thank you. Got a question, RMZ. It's from Grace. Grace says, what do you say to those who say you're at an advantage with the bariatric surgery and a GLP-1? Hey, RMZ, I know where you're from, man. So tell them like it is, man. Go ahead. You ain't gonna offend nobody.
Nah. I would probably agree. I have something that it's a tool, like the GLP-1 is a tool. And it's all about how you use it. It could be a disadvantage if I don't use it right. Without a GLP-1, I can easily overeat the restriction that I have with the sleeve. And I've done that plenty of times. That's why I went from, when I got down to 274 and then hang around 280, that's why I went from 280 all the way back up to 335 with the sleeve, because I was overeating that restriction because I couldn't stop myself from the cravings and all of that. So after a while, that that pouch gets stretched out. But what they wanted me to eat at was about 1,800 calories about a year out from having to sleep. And it was hard for me to do that until I started taking that shot. And that shot made it easier for me to stay within that 1,800 to 2,000 calories per day range. And then my ability to get to the gym now, because of my joint inflammation and pain was managed by my GLP-1, made it easier for me to get into a deficit. So you still have to do the work. I mean, I could have just taken a shot and not done anything, but I made sure I went to the gym 5 to 6 times a week to make sure that I was doing what I needed to do to maintain my muscle mass and make sure I was healthy and all of that.
Nice. Thank you, RMZ. If you have any more questions for RMZ, make sure you put a Q in front of it, and we will definitely get there. Shout out to everyone in the chat. King Darium's in the house. Journey of Life is in the house. Grant is in the house. TT's in the house. Everybody's in the house. If I forgot anybody, Nate Jen is in the house. Both Jens are in the house. So we
got the crew.
Got the crew. Thank y'all so much. Y'all showing up and showing out for the GOAT. RMZ is in the house. Gotta show him some love. So RMZ, I wanted to talk about just these GLP-1 streets. You know, you've been in this game 2 years, right, RMZ?
Yep.
All right. And you've seen the transformation of a lot of people's lives, your lives in particular. When you see different ones out there, and I'm going to say this, and please hear me. I don't want to misconstrue what I'm about to say. So everybody, don't throw shade at me when I'm about to say this. When you see ones who may not understand this process and may not understand this journey or this lifestyle and modification change, what are some things that go through your mind? Someone who has been successful on it. Now, I'm not talking about those who are on these GLP-1s because they're trying to control their blood sugar or their type 2 diabetes and things like that. But ones who are specifically on this for a weight loss and modification change. What's some of the things that go through your minds when you see ones who are not quite getting what they need to do to kind of have success?
I think it's going to be very hard for those people if, and God forbid that this happens, but if they ever lose access to the medication because they haven't made any lifestyle changes, it's going to be hard enough to maintain that loss while doing all the things you need to do, working out, doing your dietary changes and all of that. But if you're not doing that now and you lose access to the medication, you're going to be in a world of hurt when the weight starts coming back and all the health things that were being addressed by you losing weight and by using this medication start to pile back on. And a lot of times it's going to come back worse than it was before, because a lot of times we're seeing that they're not working out. So they're not hitting the gym to maintain that muscle or doing any kind of strength training. And so they're going to crash their metabolism. So what's going to come back is a whole lot of fat, and it's going to make things 10 times worse.
You know, I'm glad you said that, RMZ, because when I got taken off of my Zepbound, and I was glad I was in a position to purchase, compound tirzepatide, but glad that I got back on, but I got approved again. But that went through my mind, man. I was like, all this hard work that I did, and I haven't completed the task yet. I was scared. I was like, what's going to happen? And I see a lot of videos sometimes of, I'm not going to call anyone out. I'm not going to name names, name drop or anything. But if you want to know who they are, hit me up after. I'll let you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but where the definition of insanity, where ones have success on these medications because they really didn't change. And you can game the system for a little while. Yeah. You can do that. But then science catches up, body chemistry catches up, and then it's like full stop, bam. In RMZ, I think sometimes, even though someone may not ask us for our opinion and what we can do to help them out, but I think the humanity that we have in our heart, wanting to see a person succeed, sometimes we give some unsolicited advice, and I know it's up to them if they take it or not.
Yeah.
But why do you think that some people are so sensitive, even when someone is just trying to help them, that they can't comprehend that?
They may see it as coming from a place of judgment, and the same kind of judgment they had when they were in a bigger body, larger body, being invisible, and they being the largest person in the room and still being invisible, or someone coming up to you and say, "Hey, you need to lose weight." So they may read it as that. And a lot of times it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you got to know who you're talking to when you're saying those things. But it may be hard for them to receive the information because, and it may be a case in some cases, maybe that they know that they're not doing the right things, and you're calling them out on them, so they're feeling convicted about it as well. So it can go multiple ways on that.
You know,
and I'm seeing people that, you know, I also see people that have had success from just using the medication itself, and they haven't done anything else. So they drop the weight, but you can tell looking at the frame, they didn't do any kind of strength training. There's one big creator, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but you can tell that they did zero strength training at all. Their legs and arms look like twigs and all of that. And you get concerned from them, because I think, and they've mentioned this themselves, they have dysmorphia. They lived in this large body for such a long time, and now small is not small enough for them. And you just see and you worry about their health and their long-term health outcomes, and their bone health, especially for women who are going to face brittle bones as they get older. You know,
that's true. Yeah. You know, I knew Graves was not going to let us down. RMZ, check it out. You knew Graves wasn't going to let us down. That's why we love Graves. Great.
Yeah. If y'all hit me up on the side, I'll tell you. But I know this person gets a lot of attacks anyway from a lot of people. A lot of their content is just responding to the text that they get nonstop. So I don't want to pile on to them. But I follow them. I see their content, and I can see.
Definitely. Now, Graves.
What they're working with.
Yeah, Graves, you missed your calling. We need to get you in the entertainment world. I mean, you come up with some funny zingers. I'm serious, Graves. You need to get a side hustle with me. Come on, let's do it. You know, in RMZ, you touched on a very good point. I kind of dealt with that too when I first got into the entertainment world and even the broadcast world. You know, I came in with a measure of success and talent, and sometimes you start to believe the hype about yourself. And the minute a person comes up to you and gives you some constructive criticism, you're like, well, what am I doing wrong? So I get that. I get that, because I had to have a long talk with myself and realize that if someone, it takes courage for someone to approach you about a problem. And if someone took the time to think about what they wanted to tell me, I started to say, okay, let me listen and see if there's any validity to it, because they could be helping me make a $1 million decision that's going to benefit me in the long run. But you know, I just feel that, you know, RMZ, when we look at your example, and again, you know, everybody's journey is different, but one thing that we can look at you and we can imitate you is to be consistent. You know, it's like, not saying we all got to drop over 160 pounds on our journey, but we can follow your example of consistency when it comes to strength training, when it comes to, you know, decisions, just consistency. Those are all traits that we all can look at and say, oh yeah, I can roll with that. There's nothing wrong with being consistent in anything that we do
Yeah.
When you look at how many people you have touched in this journey, and if you never would have taken time to get on these GLP-1s, you ever thought about that?
Yeah, actually, I'm not a spotlight person. I don't like the spotlight. Even in my playing days, I enjoyed being a captain because that meant I was a leader, but I didn't like being in the spotlight myself. I like to move things in the background and make things happen in the background. But being out in the front like that, like this, has afforded me the opportunity to touch a lot of men, and they've reached out to me and let me know whether it's about my weight loss journey itself or dealing with prostate cancer and inspiring men to go get checked and understand what they're dealing with. That's inspiring. And every time I hear it, I just feel uncomfortable about it, but it also makes me feel good because that's what it's all about. It's about reaching. That's why I started my platform the way I did and focusing on the men, because I want to, if I can just reach one or two people, then it's worth it. You know, I did an interview with a young man on Saturday that'll be airing on March 3rd, and he mentioned it a couple times in the interview that I did to him, and it made me feel good. It made me feel good that what I was doing was worth it, you know.
And you being modest now, bro. I mean, you have helped out ones at your job. You helped out members of your family.
Yeah.
I mean, you have, you know, that one decision you made, man, is really going to change a lot of people's lives when it comes to just health and fitness. And I wanted to spend some time to talk about just the emotional roller coaster that you've been on since you've been in these GLP-1s. I mean, you've gotten your weight under control, but then you get diagnosed with prostate cancer. You get to your prostate cancer, then you start having some other issues with your labs, and then, you know, you may have to have surgery, you know, on your shoulders and all this. RMZ, do you ever get to the point where you're like, man, can I just can I just be okay for a minute without having all these other setbacks?
Yeah, generally, I'm able to compartmentalize a lot of stuff and just deal with it. It's probably an example that I get from my dad, and all the time it's not great all the times, but it's also a healthy, great tool sometimes to make it through a lot of things. But there's one thing that I couldn't do that with, and that was with the prostate cancer. When hearing that word cancer, that was life-changing, and then trying to it's making me emotional about it right now. Talk to my kids about it, you know, especially my daughter. My daughter took it hard. She thought she thought I was about to die. She had me crying on the phone and trying to calm her down, and then I got a call from my cousin, and he's crying on the phone. I was like, you know, I had to explain to him, you know, this is where the situation is, and made him promise me to get checked on by the end of the call, and he's good. But hearing that word cancer and then having such a long period between the initial lab coming back and then the confirmation of the cancer, I think it was, I got the test in May, and I didn't get the official diagnosis until September. So all that time I'm dealing with the what ifs. You know, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if it's in my bones? I don't know if it's in my bones yet. What if it spreads to my organ? You know, what stage am I at? And trying to learn everything I could about it. So I'm on YouTube University trying to find all these men talking about prostate cancer and learning how to deal with it and all of that. But that was by far the hardest thing. And then once I got once I got the diagnosis, I knew what I was dealing with. Then it's like, let's go.
I don't know if you remember, RMZ, was before you and I even knew each other. I mean, I watched your videos before, comment, but you and I didn't really interact. And you remember, it was that one video you put out about how you were cancer free. And I commented, I was like, yo, man, you know, we've been praying for you, you know, glad to hear this and that. And that's when you and I really started to interact and talk with each other. And that, man, a lot of people was praying up for you, bro, because, you know, you just a good dude, man. You know, especially when I first started on my journey, I didn't know nothing about a GLP-1. I knew about an Ozempic. I knew about the Ozempic booty, but I didn't know nothing about no Zepbound. So when I was going through these YouTube streets, yours was one of the first videos I came to. Yours, Simply Taisha, and I looked. I said, "Oh wow, that's a brother doing on the Zepbound too." Round down the Zepbound. So I started watching your videos and learning from you. You and your example made me want to change my channel that was geared towards me and doing some stuff that I do to talk about my journey. It was because of you, man. And thank you. You know, I appreciate that. And I don't know if you remember some of those comments before you and I knew each other that I would put on. I remember I saw this one comment when you were like, you know, you were in Wonderland. I was like, oh man, if only I can get into Wonderland. I was like, I'm gonna hit this dude up. I'm gonna give a comment. I was like, yo, man, I gotta join you in Wonderland. He's like, yo, I got a spot right here for you. And that's our little running joke that me and RMZ have, that he got a spot for me in Wonderland. Yeah. And I haven't weighed myself in a couple weeks. I'm gonna weigh myself this week, but the last time I weighed myself, I was 72 pounds down. So I want to see where I'm at this week when I weigh in, because to get into Wonderland, I need to lose 77 more pounds. Yeah, no, 77 more pounds to get into Wonderland. But I'm definitely get there, bro.
Still holding that spot for you. Man, let me tell you, I've been sick. I was the week before. I had to have one of my molars extracted, so they put me on a bone graft. So they put me on a kind of liquid diet, and then I was sick over this weekend. I'm down to 192 today. I'm getting. I got on scale this morning. I was like, what?
192.
Yeah, I got it. I got to start taking some creatine again, man. Get my weight back up.
Wow, 192 now, bro. We got to take you to Quick and Split, man. Let's go get a Quick and Split burger, man.
Well, wow. Yeah, man. That journey, getting that cancer in the midst of that journey, I was 6 months in when I had the test, and in that moment, I was thinking, I'm doing all this to get my health right, and now I'm getting saddled with this. And so, it was like a kick in the gut at that moment.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah, and but I'm also thankful because that 6 months before that test, I think put me in fighting shape for that moment, because getting all that weight off and going to the gym every day, getting stronger, really put me in a space where I was ready for the challenge, whatever it was going to be. Because I think when I was reading up on prostate cancer and obesity, I was reading that it complicates the treatment obesity does, and I was out of obesity by then, so it put me in fighting shape for that moment.
Yeah, I'm like, imagine if you were still, in the high threes, going through something like that, and wow, do you think about that was a wise decision, that you made being on Zepbound?
Yeah.
One thing
it was a series of wise decisions. It was a wise decision to start that journey on a GLP-1, but it was also a wise decision to pick the primary that I picked. And I've talked about this numerous times. When I was seeking a new primary, I moved to Vegas in May of 2019, and I think between 2019 and the time I found my current primary, I probably switched primaries like 5 times within that less than 4 years. And I set out on a specific mission to find a primary that was a woman, because my experience with women physicians has always been great. They are detailed, they are empathetic, they will go the extra mile for you. I wanted someone that was young, someone that was not going to be beholden to the old ways of doing medicine, and which I had experienced today. I'm changing my urologist after today's appointment.
Oh, wow.
And someone that was either Black or a person of color that was in tune with what my community faced, what I face as a Black man, health risk wise. And it's because I made that decision. I first saw her in February, and then I had a follow-up appointment with her in May. And in May, she just threw out there, "Hey, I'm going to throw this PSA test on here." I didn't know what it was. I didn't even ask her what it was. I said, "Okay." I didn't think nothing of it. And then when the results came back, I started looking up what a PSA was. But I should have been having that test at least 5 years earlier. At least. And not one of my doctors talked to me about prostate cancer in that time frame. Being a Black man, making me more at risk for getting the disease and more likely to die from it, from not having those screenings. And it was a decision of finding that primary that saved my life.
You talked about, you gave us a little nugget about your urologist. Are they acting like a buster, and that's why you got to get rid of them?
Man, I tell you, so I had my 6-month follow-up with them today. I went to the lab like 3 weeks back. My endocrinologist that my primary referred me to put in some lab work for me. So I did all this lab work, and I asked, when I was at Quest, I asked if my order from my urologist was in there for my lab work, because I knew my appointment was coming up, and I was going to get my lab work done 2 weeks before my appointment. And the Quest told me, "No, we don't. There's no order in there for you from this doctor." So I called and left a voicemail 5 times saying, "Hey, Quest does not have my order. My appointment's coming up. I need you to put my order in." Never got a call back. I went in there today. He comes in there with, "Your PSA is good. It's 0.4. I said, "Yeah, that's my results from my endocrinologist. I couldn't get an order. I couldn't get anyone in your office on the line to put an order in for you." He said, "Yeah, it's just paper. They don't send, it should have been a paper that was given to you." I said, "That was 6 months ago. I don't have a paper." I was trying to get someone on the line to either come get a paper to take the order in or have you send it in. But long story short, I was talking to him about my testosterone and whether I would be a candidate for testosterone replacement therapy because of my history with prostate cancer. I wanted to get his opinion on it. I asked him about my lab results, because he was looking at the report that the endocrinologist has sent in. So my FSH was like at 31.5. The normal, the high end of the normal was like is 16. So I'm almost twice what normal should be. And it's that high because my pituitary gland is trying to signal to my testes to create sperm, but my testes can't create sperm because of my radiation treatment. And then I asked him about my testosterone level. My testosterone level is normal. I got normal range, but there's the bioavailability of that testosterone is low. My first test was below the normal range, and my second test was low normal. And he said, "No, you don't worry about the bioavailability. It's just your total has to be good." And nothing that I've read has said that at all. So I knew he was bullshitting when I asked him about it. Then I asked him about my there's a hormone called the sex binding globulin hormone, and that's generated out of the liver. And if that is high, the bioavailability of your testosterone is going to be low because it bounds to your testosterone and makes it unavailable for the body to use. So even if your normal testosterone, your total testosterone is normal, your bioavailability or free testosterone is going to be low because that hormone is high. It's bound to that protein is bound to your testosterone. So he was telling me, don't worry about any of that, like none of that. And I had been doing a lot of research on it, so I knew he didn't know what he was talking about. So I said, oh, he was trying to get me out of the office. So I said, okay. I got back to my office and immediately start Googling for a new urologist.
Yeah, I bet what kind of hat I know he wear. But it's crazy. Is how, and I'm so glad that you know how to advocate for yourself, RMZ, because if we don't, I mean, we would buy whatever they sell, and then we can put ourselves in harm's way. So that's a prime example of advocate for your own health. Don't be scared to get rid of your medical team and get someone else, and advocate for yourself. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, RMZ, you made a conscious decision, I want to say last year, I forget when it was, to stop giving your weight loss update. And we all thought that you were going to just abandon us in these GLP-1 streets. But no, you started to shift. You started to shift to talk about things that were going on in men's health, things that are going on in GLP-1 news. What made you want to shift your focus to that? And another question, it's a loaded question. When was your first interaction with King Darium? Because everyone in these GLP-1 streets has their first interaction with King Darium. So you can take both of those questions.
First question is giving a weekly update of my weight loss kind of became redundant. It's like how much do people want to really hear this on a weekly basis? And I was getting tired of making them, so I know people was probably getting tired of watching them, except for me trying to figure out the maintenance portion of it, because that was something that there is no blueprint for. So I was trying to expose people to that reality of trying to figure out what I needed to do to make sure that I was maintaining my weight and not continuing to lose. The different levers that I had to pull, like altering my workout, altering my dose, altering my dosing schedule, because there's one thing I really couldn't do, and that was adjust my my food intake because of both the medicine and the sleeve, the gastric sleeve. So that was one thing that I really couldn't adjust. But trying to figure it out, I think people would have found that interesting. But at a certain point, it was just became monotonous to continue to do a weekly update on my weight loss. So I figured I can move to a more monthly update or a more periodic update on that, and switch to something like doing interviews to create a platform for men to have these discussions about health, and show that it's not taking the easy way out, and there's so much more to these medications than the weight loss. Weight loss is one component of it. There's so many other health benefits that it helps you improve and prevent. So I wanted to highlight those stories, especially to build a bridge back to someone that's coming behind me, because when I came to YouTube trying to find out this information, I found I think two men. One was a diabetic, and I think he was pretty much done with his journey for the most part. and the other was Dave Knapp, and his content was more about the news around GLP-1. He has switched from, I saw some of his earlier content. He switched from making update videos to making news content. So, and I didn't see anyone that looked like me because I wasn't on TikTok at the time. There was a whole community over there that I was not even aware of. So I wanted to build that. I wanted to be that face for someone to see that came after me. So that's why I kind of switched my content. But Darium, I think Darium, I don't know if Darium found me first on YouTube or on TikTok. I think it was YouTube. But when I started posting my updates, Darium was there. And I don't remember what his first comment was, but he was, every single time I dropped something, he was there. It was like, yes. And then he was the one that encouraged me to keep going on YouTube, because I was like, people don't realize how hard it is to build a community on YouTube. It's hard. And he encouraged me to keep going. So that's why I'm here today.
No, it is, man. I thought it was going to be easy because I already had a nice YouTube size, nice subscriber count, but they don't care about GLP-1 and weight loss. So
yeah,
I'm having to start from scratch to build my new community. And this community is amazing. It's loyal. Yeah. And it really shows just how we're taking our health and ownership of our health seriously. Yeah. One thing I really appreciate about you is you're genuine in what you do. You can tell when someone is just dropping content just to get clicks and likes. You know, you really take time to explain a subject. You're not just reading from a teleprompter. You know, you're really having a conversation, you know, and I admire that about you. No shade about anybody else who's doing that, but your authenticity shines through in your message. I think some people look at the success that they've had on their channels and they just phone it in. Yeah. I mean, I used to work with cats like that. I've been in the radio media industry. It'll be 20 years next year. I know when cats be phoning it in. Yeah. And sometimes I see people phoning this stuff in, and I'm like, and all these likes and comments, I'm like, they ain't giving you their best. Yeah. They just, you know, giving you mediocre stuff. RMZ is giving you the best. Go check him out. Yeah. But it's just interesting with all that. Couple things in that's happening in the world. Felicia Marie B is in the house. Felicia Marie says the only men I found were in the UK. And they're basically done with them journey. I'm happy to see more men are coming out and talking about. Thank you, Felicia Marie B. And Felicia, can you give us your British accent? You want to come in? I'll drop the link in. And we can. Oh, congratulations! If you haven't seen Felicia Marie B's video, Felicia Marie B, I believe, is down 130 pounds. Check her video out.
Oh, that's awesome!
It is amazing. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! RMZ. Look who's joining us.
Vanity Reigns.
Vanity is in the house. What happened was Vanity heard the name Dave on the pen, and that's when Vanity. Vanity. That's an inside joke, Jen. You know about that joke too, right, Jen? But there is some couple things in the news, and Vanity even talked about this on her channel on Saturday, her live, and that is about Monique. And Monique made some stir in these GLP-1 streets, and if you haven't, hey, Simply Taisha, great to have you with us.
Simply Ty.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Monique's comments, check out my video I just dropped. Yeah, I'm trying to get clicks, y'all, so go check it out. But RMZ, what did you think about Monique and what she said about these GLP-1 streets, and also we're going to talk about the alleged, because we're protected by our First Amendment right of free speech, the alleged deal that the government made with these pharmaceutical companies to try to shut down these compounded pharmacies. So let's take Monique first. What do you think about Monique and what she said?
Monique, love Monique, but she's uninformed. Like I mentioned, like I left a comment on your page about that. I heard rumblings of what she said a few days ago, but I didn't bother to look into it too much until I saw your So I saw your video, and the first thing that came to my mind is Oprah. You know, she's been beefing with Oprah since the movie Precious. And now that Oprah is pushing these GLP-1s as a tool for people to find health, she wants to come out and state negative about it. And I haven't seen her make any comment about celebrities pushing fast food joints or ultra processed foods, anything of that nature. But she comes out against GLP-1s, things that people need in order to regulate a dysregulation in their body to treat a disease of obesity that's chronic. So it's a chronic disease, so you need a chronic medication to treat it chemically, because it is a chemical imbalance hormonally. And I wish she would take time to educate herself more about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if y'all want to find out more about my commentary, check out my video. That's a plug. Check out my video. Check out Vanity's video too. It's Vanity.
It's a great video.
She had a good video too. And let's rattle the beehive right now, RMZ. You know, I guess they think we dumb with this backwards deal, alleged backwards deal with the government and these pharmaceutical companies to try to shut down these compounded pharmacies, because people were wondering, well, how in the world did the government and these pharmaceutical companies come together and say we're going to make sure that people on Medicare can get these GLP-1s at $50 a cost? Lilly started bringing their price down. They even dropped their multi-pen today. I don't know where they from, RMZ. That still ain't no deal. I mean, that's costing somebody a grip to get that stuff. And my question for some of the ones who are on the vials right now, will they now go to the quick pen? Vanity, I know you own those vials. Put it in the chat if you're gonna go to that quick pen. But RMZ, what do you think about that alleged backroom deal?
No, when it all dropped during the summer, I said it's going to be smoke and mirrors, and that's exactly what it is turning out to be. A lot of smoke and mirrors. And I called out then that there was some kind of deal that was probably being made that was going to facilitate them lowering their prices, even though we are not seeing most favored nation pricing here in the States. So that's one thing that's not happening. It's still not matching what other countries are getting cost-wise. The other thing is Trump issued an executive order, and people don't realize is an executive order cannot create a new law. It cannot change any existing law. It can only direct the executive branch on how to execute existing laws. So his administration had no ground to stand on to force these companies to lower their prices. So they had to dangle some kind of carrot in front of them to kind of make a deal happen. And I believe that carrot was, one, they weren't going to force any other price reductions on any other future medications. Two, they were going to expedite their medications that were in the pipeline to get approved by the FDA. And we're seeing that happening. And three, they were going to shut down the compounding because it's taking money out of their pocket. And we're seeing those things happen. We also saw 2 Congress members from the state of Indiana on both sides of the aisle submit legislation to block compounding, to label everything as an exact copy. So there's all kind of mechanisms being pulled in order to facilitate this, to continue to corner the market for these big pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a lot of backlash. RMZ and Vanity said she's going to stick to the vials for now. Yeah. And I know Teddy D is on the vials too. So Teddy, what you going to do? You going to go to the quick pen or the vials? Charles, this is what I think is going to happen. And I'm just opining because I'm protected with my First Amendment right of free speech, and I'm exercising it right now. And that is, you're going to see the lobbyists who support compounding pharmacies come out now. And you're going to see this push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. I didn't realize, and I think Felicia Marie B might have said this, even Graves might have said this too, one time about compounding pharmacy, like how they had a friend who needed some compounded cancer. It was some kind of cancer medicine or something was compounded. If it was Felicia Marie B, if it was you, or Graves, if it was you, please drop it in the chat about the only way they were able to get this medicine because they needed to get it compounded. So even though they're trying to go after these GLP-1s, but they're going to mess around and mess up access for other compounded medicines that people use. And compound medicine had been around for a long time, even before the GLP-1. So yeah. I think RMZ, I think it's going to be not as easy as they think it's going to be to kind of shut it down.
I don't see these compounding lobbyists matching funds with these big pharmaceutical companies. I'll say that. I know the compounders are winning a lot in court right now, but I think a lot of that is because the FDA has not been enforcing a lot of these rules, and now we're starting to see them pick up the enforcement by green lighting some of the APIs that are coming through and make sure that the APIs only come from FDA approved sources. And what was the other thing that they were doing? There's one other thing that they were doing. I lost my train of thought on it, but the FDA is starting to ramp up enforcement around these things, which is something that they weren't doing previously. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. So. And then going back to your comment about the approval for Medicare, people on Medicare, and it's still not approved. It's a pilot program that not everyone is going to qualify for, and it's just for them to gather data to come back and say, you know, the medication can do this, but it still has to go through Congress to get approved to repeal that law from the FinFin era, and then the Medicaid coverage is an opt-in from each state. So you're dependent on a state to opt in. Not every state is going to opt in. And then you have the big, beautiful bill that threw millions of people off of Medicaid. So they're not going to be able to access it anyway if their state were to opt in. So like I said, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. And Shani, she's on the vials. She's going to stay on the vials, not the pen. Dr. Jen says, interesting. No one is really interested. I know, Jen, I thought that people were going to jump on the quick pens. I really did. But you know, I know my wife, Rainy Day, she was on Ozempic with the Ozempic pen. It's not as easy as it is, because you got to put a needle on every time, and it's pretty interesting.
I wonder if they're going to force people to the pen.
You know they are, Charles, because you know, especially those who are on like the pens that I'm on, the quick pens, the single dose pens. You know they are, especially for insurance. They're gonna save money, you know. So probably you and I, since we're covered by insurance, they're probably gonna make us get the quick pens.
Yeah, you know? I'm talking about the cash pay customers that are getting the vials now. Yeah,
cash pay. Yeah,
because right now the quick pen is only for from Literally Direct customers.
Yeah, you're right.
Cash pay customers. So I think eventually at some point they're probably going to force everybody to the pen, at least on the cash pay side. But I think it's going to happen universally at some point because it's going to save them money, so they don't have to create so many pens. Right now, you get 4 pens in a pot versus 1 pen with 4 doses in it.
Yeah, Ty says, if my insurance stops covering my auto pen, I wouldn't mind going to quick pen. Okay, sounds good. You know, one thing that wasn't announced today, Charles, was the multi-dose vials. You notice that today?
Yeah.
They did. That's funny. Poor little Eli Lilly wants to save costs with those quick pens. They can only make so many $1 billion. We feel so bad for them, Charles, don't we, RMZ? I feel so bad.
And that's another reason why I think they're going to move everybody to the quick pen, because with the vials now, you can kind of customize your dose.
Yeah, and they don't want that.
Yeah, they don't want that. The quick pen, you won't be able to, unless you take 2 shots.
Yeah, that's true. King has a question. It says, your opinion on the passing of the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act, the TROA.
I would like to see that happen. I don't know how far away that is from reality. I know the Obesity Action Committee is pushing that through and have conversations with members of Congress, but I don't know how close that is to coming to fruition. Because we know it's a disease. It needs to be treated like one.
Absolutely. I heard reports too, Charles, that a lot of doctors are prescribing pills now, so people are jumping on the pills.
Yeah,
but I think they're going to be. I always go to my my sci-fi cliches all the time. RMZ, you know me by now, right?
Yeah.
So you remember when Luke was on the bridge of the Death Star with Emperor Palpatine?
Yeah.
And he said, "You're mistaken about a great many things." I think that pill. I don't know about that pill, man. I don't think people get the results they're looking for on that pill, man. That's just me. What's your take on
it? I think they will get pretty close to Wegovy, the Wegovy shot, but I don't think it's going to be of course, it's not going to be as successful as Mounjaro or Zepbound itself, but I guess it's all about preference. There's a lot of people that don't want to take shots. They don't want to take shots, so they'd rather take a pill, and more power to them. I would prefer the shot because of the longer half-life. You don't have to take it daily, whereas a pill you're gonna have to take daily.
Yeah. Now Mia says this about the quick pen. Now Mia, the only thing, if they give you like I know like with Ozempic, if they gave you like a 2 megabyte. I'm thinking about a computer, Charles. A 2 milligram pen. To get 2 milligram pen, you can only do 4 2 milligram doses. Now, if they gave you if you're on a 0.25 and they give you a 2 milligram pen, that's when you can kind of control your dose then. But if they give you like a 2 milligram dose pen with 4 2 milligrams on it, you can't really control it that much. But if you get one like the first Ozempic pen that Randy Days had, it was a 2 milligram pen, but it had 0.25 and 0.50 doses on it, then you can do it. It's kind of tricky. And I'm not sure if the quick pen that they're doing is the same.
I heard stories about the folks over in UK where also, because there's an amount that's left over at the end of the cycle of the pen, and I think they call it the golden dose or something like that.
Yeah.
So they've been breaking it open and getting every last drop out of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ty says, I'm not interested ever switching to the pill. I'm with you on that, Ty. I'm the same way. I want my shots. Go through the chat a little more. All right. Jen, Journey of Life said the same thing. I'm with you on that. Mia says the pill is very fickle at best. The amount of water you have to take with it and nothing eat at all. It's kind of cumbersome.
You have to take it on empty stomach. What I found interesting though is I think Hims and Hers have scrapped theirs because of the lawsuit by Novo Nordisk. But on every time I open a Facebook, there's a mochi ad in there. Everyone knows about mochi, but they're selling a Wegovy like pill. Mm-hmm. But what people don't realize is that they don't have that same technology, that snack technology that's coating the pill to keep it from your stomach acid from rapidly degrading the medication itself. So you're not going to get the full dose taking that mochi or compounded medication. Yeah,
that makes sense. And I know Lily's pill is coming out. I can never say it, RMZ, so I named it Megatron.
Yeah.
So when Megatron comes out,
Decepticons retreat.
You know it. Do you think that pill is gonna be the pill amongst pills?
From what I've been seeing from the numbers, it hasn't been that successful.
Okay.
I think the Wegovy pill has had better results in the clinical trials, unless I missed something.
All right.
But I'm also it's also interesting that it's not a GLP-1 agonist either.
Yeah, it's true. Didi says, "Hey, brother Paul, brother RMZ, great conversation. I would take a pill or a quick pen. I'll make it work." Okay, awesome.
Downsizing diva.
Yep. And guess who else is in the house, man? We got royalty in the house. We got Mel to the B in the house.
Mel to the B.
She says, "Traveling, safe travels, Mel to the B. Traveling this week, but I'll be listening. Thank you so much." So I mean, RMZ, man, we had the
safe travels, man.
We had the who's in these GLP-1 streets, man. We've had Vanity come in, we've had Mel to the B, we've had Didi, we have Jen in the house, everybody. I mean, this is awesome, man. Let's spend some time talking about Retta. So I remember your video and you said it the correct way. Ratatride. Say it again, RMZ.
Ratatride.
Yeah, Ratatride. What do you think about that? Because I know that was in the gray market. One of our guys, Bound, he was taking it and everything, and he's had some success with it.
Shout out to Bound.
Yep, and I know G's talked about him and Bound had a conversation about Retta. What is your take on Retta?
The gray version or the Lily version?
Let's go with the government version.
I think that's going to be a game changer for a lot of folks. I think it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a game changer for folks that are not seeing necessarily the success on Mounjaro or Zepbound, because they're not getting, even at the highest dose of 15 milligrams, they're not getting enough medication in their system in order to regulate that dysregulation. So they're not seeing the success that others would necessarily see. So that's why I think they were also working on a higher dose of tirzepatide as well, like I think 22 and 25 milligrams for that. But I think that triple agonist is going to be a game changer for real.
Yeah, I think so too. I know, like for me, I would probably switch to Retta only because of my paralysis and the visceral fat around my abdomen. I took my next DEXA in March, so I'm gonna see how if I have the reduction in my visceral fat. See, because I haven't started my Semarelin yet. I do have it in the refrigerator right now. I haven't started it yet. I want to make sure that I do the testing to make sure I don't have any cancers, because they said that's very important. You need to do, take that test and make sure you don't have any cancers, because if you do have any underlying cancers, that Semarelin can kind of get that going. So I'm going to do that first. But I think I want to go to Retta just to get rid of my visceral fat on my abdomen, because that's the only thing I can't, because I can't work out my muscles there that much. So it's like it's just there. Oh, let me thank you, Didi. And thank you, Mel, for the super chats. Really appreciate that. So
that's Semarelin, man. I missed that. I love that thing. That Semarelin was awesome.
So did you, now when you took the Semarelin, was that before or after your prostate issue?
It was before I was diagnosed.
Okay.
I had to stop it once I was diagnosed, and then they won't prescribe it to me now because I am a person that had cancer.
Okay. No, good. If once can put it in the chat, as me and RMZ is having this discussion, everyone who's on the GLP-1 now, if you can put in the chat, when Retta comes out, are you going to switch to Retta? We want to know that. RMZ, what's some other things in these GLP-1 streets that you think all of us should be aware of, just whether it comes with lifestyle, medications out there, supplements, fiber, anything that can keep us going? Because you've been through it all, man. You've had the constipation issues. You've learned to lick that. What are some other things we can do?
What I learned is you'll probably save a lot on food, but you're gonna buy a lot of supplements on, on this medication. So I'm taking daily multivitamins, taking electrolytes daily, Mago 7 and Marilax. I think the biggest thing for me was staying ahead of constipation. So that's something that I know a lot of people in the community are aware of. Some people take these supplements at different intervals, but I take Marilax and Mago 7 daily just to make sure I'm staying ahead of constipation itself. But I think you got to find stuff that works for you, and hopefully you can get what you need through eating more whole foods. But you're going to be eating less of it, so you still have to have some kind of supplementation, especially when it comes to the micro and macronutrients. So that's why I take a daily multivitamin every single day and calcium pills every single day to make sure my bones are being taken care of.
Absolutely. Mia with the word on the street. She said, word on the street. Sherman insurance companies are allowing people to get the quick pins. Certain PBMs have deals going with Lily. Thank you for that word on the street. Grace says, Reddit when you want to feel like Godzilla. Grace, you got that from Countess, didn't you? Remember she called it Godzilla? So
yeah, actually, I seen someone, I don't know if it was I think it was on TikTok. I seen someone that they said they got a call from their PBM asking if they would switch to mail order and it'd be cheaper for them. And they said, yeah, and they shipped them out quick pins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mia, that's a great idea. TT says, I'll probably stack the Retta with my Mounjaro because I need the energy from Retta. Okay. Sounds good. And Didi says, everyone may not be able to get Retta. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think I heard something about they don't think it's going to be a primary prescribed medication. It'd be something that is escalatory from tirzepatide.
Okay.
So I think that's how Lilly was envisioning that if you max out on tirzepatide and not seeing results, then they move you to retatrutide.
Nice.
So back to Dee's post there, everyone won't be able to get it.
Yeah. Or will they, Didi? If they got compounding pharmacies, or will we be able to get them? So, hey, to talk about some of the healthy mentalities you have coming up. Who you got joining you tomorrow?
Tomorrow I have Gary. Gary's my guy from TikTok. He has an amazing story. I don't want to give all the details. Y'all got to tune in tomorrow to find out. But he has lost over 130 pounds, and he's dealt with some health issues. So kind of similar to what I went through, but different. But so I got him tomorrow. I got DJ Don Juan coming up on March 3rd. That is going to actually be a premiere. I had to record his episode on Saturday, so it's in the vault waiting to be released. So I'm going to do it a premiere on March 3rd at 6 o'clock. He has a great story as well. We got coming in. Ben is on March 10th, and my guy TT Trucker will be.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to jump on, so March 24th, and then heavy on the jumps, March 31st, and then my last one that I have scheduled is a guy named Kevin from TikTok.
Awesome, awesome.
So looking forward to those. There's a lot of other men that reached out, said they wanted to do it, but failed to follow up. So hopefully they will soon. I know we've been talking about collectively between ourselves about doing that panel once a quarter. So we'll have to fit that in there somewhere as well.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait for it. Let's go through the chat, RMZ. We'll see what they're saying in the chat. We'll get some commentary if you don't mind. So Shawnee says, her dose is working great. If she reached a point that she thought she needed, she would. Shawnee, if you don't mind, put in the chat how many pounds you've lost, and would love to hear more. And Shawnee, have you ever done an interview before yet? I haven't seen you do an interview. So if you haven't, Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, so we'll definitely chat. Simply Ty says, Didi, I hope that those needing can get a yes. I'm sorry, Taisha. I can read. I don't know why I messed that up. Didi, I hope those who need yes. And I'm thinking RMZ, I might be a candidate for it just because of my 99% visceral fat I have on my body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I'm hoping the Cimarelin can help it out too. You know, once I get my blood panel done, because I have that, I'm ready to start that. So we'll definitely do that. Mia says they're going for biologic medicine, which will very expensive. Oh, yes. Didi says, me too, Simply Ty. Retta is going to have to be at about 3 years before I can say, oh, Brenda Marlene, I feel you on that. Brenda Marlene said, I don't want to be no rat. Yeah, I feel you. True Didi, our BMI likely to be 35 or higher. All right. I believe the BMI for Reddit has to be okay. All right. Dr. Jen says Reddit has to be 40. Yeah, I think so. Because they said that Reddit, man, is like a beast, you know, on people. Same shiny 5 milligrams Zepbound is my dose. I'm sticking with it. It's been amazing. Awesome. Simply Ty. It's amazing that you have so many therapies in the pipelines. I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm with you, King. All right. Are you hearing anything about the pharmacy circles? Okay. Jen, we got to put you in these GLP-1 streets because Jen has a lot of knowledge. All right. Yikes, Jen.
Grace.
Wait. I tell you, Grace, you need to be a comedy writer. She has some great stuff. And they're trying to read it under the term biologic, and biologics are very expensive. That makes sense. All right. I'm watching Lily pick up that stock. Hey, Didi, especially with the stock market went down today, right? Better go ahead and get it. All right. We're in hospital, Darian, so not really. I'm working at a hospital. Jen is funny. Okay, Jen, I forgot you work with the rare stuff. All right. Oh, that's cool, Shiny. 88 pounds. May go back down to 5. That's awesome, Shiny. Shiny, you didn't ask my other question. You want to be interviewed? I'm gonna hook you up. We'll do it. Any more questions for RMZ? We're gonna go about to 7:30 our time, so RMZ can get his relax on with his fam. Hey, so when you make some more of them cookies?
Those DoubleTree cookies.
Oh yeah,
man, I've been thinking about those because some people at work want some, so I might make some this weekend. Those cookies are good. I just can't have them around the house all the time because, man, I'll become the cookie monster.
Yeah,
that sugar noise comes back for real. That's one thing I noticed is the longer I've been on this medication, the less restrictive the food noise is for me, particularly around sugar, because that's always been my weakness. I know I still haven't picked up alcohol. I used to enjoy like a drink a week, but I probably had 5 drinks in 25 months.
So you talked about the sugar and how that's coming up a little bit. How has the journey you've been on helped you to kind of not give in to the cravings like you used to and show some restraint?
It's quieted. I mean, my first year, especially my first year, I had no noise. You couldn't tempt me with anything sweet. I would just look at it and wouldn't even think about it. But after that first year, that noise started creeping back in, and I could hear it and start getting loud. It's not as loud as it was before, but it's loud enough to where I can get I'd have to have something. I have to have something to take that edge away.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just drink like a zero sugar soda to get that sweetness taste. But it's that is my weakness.
Okay.
Sure.
Hey,
but I know it, so I try to avoid it as much as I can. I don't try to I don't want to deprive myself, but I also want to make sure I don't go overboard with it.
Yeah. So GLP-1s kind of help you to have I don't want to say a moderation approach, but an approach that I will have some sugar, but I know when to dial it back.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Shiny, we're gonna do it. All right, we got some questions coming in.
Paul, you know what I want to do? I've been thinking about this. I'm gonna have to put it in action. I need to do a ladies' night healthy mentality.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
We got some great women in this community, and they come out, support us, cheer us on all the time.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I mean, all the queens in these GLP-1 streets, we thank y'all. We love y'all. Y'all amazing. Thank y'all for supporting us in this community, and y'all doing some amazing things. I think that'd be a great thing. Great thing, RMZ. Grace says, "What are you eating today?" Now, I got a bone to pick with Grace. You know, I watch your videos about her protein, so we try to be like Grace today.
Yeah, Grace is 150 calories before lunch.
Yes, Grace told me to eat a whole can of that yellowtail tuna. So what did I do today? I had my can of that yellowtail tuna that they got at Costco. I put like a tablespoon of avocado mayo in it, put 2 eggs in it, and put some. We got a garden. RMZ, I never showed you my garden. I never showed you a picture of my garden I got in the backyard, have I?
No.
All right, we have a garden in our backyard. So we went out there and picked some green onion. So we chopped up the green onion, put that in and put some pickle in there, and then I took some Quest chips. I took the chili lime ones, the sweet ones, crunched them up, put in my tuna. I ate it. I ain't never been that full in my life. So Grace, I ain't listening to you no more. So RMZ, Grace said, "What are you eating today?"
Typically I'll start my day with like a homemade egg McMuffin, I guess you can call it. Toast some English Thomas muffins and fry up an egg and put some cheese on it, and have my protein shake as well. And then lunch is typically Chipotle. I've been on Chipotle trip lately. Chipotle or Salad and Go, a place called Salad and Go. I don't know if they have that everywhere, but Salad and Go is a great salad spot. And dinner is usually something with chicken, some kind of chicken thigh, some kind of skinless chicken thigh, I should say, with some veggies and whatnot.
Cool. All right. Simply Ty has one. She says, "Did the noise start before or after you reintroduced the sweets?" Good question, Simply Ty.
It started before. That's how I got to it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Vanity says, "Num num." Now, if you watch Monique's video, I better yet watch her Vanity's video, Monique, or my video, Monique, and you'll get that num num. All right. Simply Ty says, "I haven't tried any yet, thankfully. I hope continues indefinitely." Here we go. Grace don't play. She showed up with that protein. Grace too strict. No, she not. Grace is spot on. Right. She got me buying that tuna. I know doses of Shiny. Isn't that tuna good? And I used to buy it before because I've been on keto, and I used to buy that because I think it was. RMZ, you've been on keto before, right?
Yeah.
What's my man's name? Was it Thomas DeLauer? One of the guys who was a content creator when I was doing keto, and they were talking about that tuna because it has no mercury and all that other stuff. Really good tuna. Yeah. Grace, you even got Rainy Days saying she want to try some salmon, and she's not a fish eater. She like Grace said it was good. It had seasoned. I'm gonna try it. So Grace, you're our protein whisperer. So that's what it is. Vanity says, yes, she's there. Laugh. Yeah. Well, RMZ, we got about a minute left, my brother. Anything you want to say out there to everyone in these GLP-1 streets?
I just want to thank everybody for the support. You know, I feel the love from all of you guys, and I really truly appreciate it. It's such a great community. It's one that I've grounded myself in. You got me out here making content, something I never thought I would have done about health and GLP-1s, and that's just how powerful and strong the community is. Because, you know, I can talk sports day and night, I can talk politics day and night. So if you thought I was going to do content creation, you think it would have been in one of those lanes. But here I am in these GLP-1 streets because of y'all. You guys have been awesome. I love supporting you all. I love the support that I'm getting from you all, and I just appreciate you.
We appreciate you, GOAT. We really do, man. Yeah. And Simple Taisha says, by any, I was referring to food noise. She says, I haven't had any food noise return yet.
Yeah, I got that.
All right, cool. Sounds good. All right, let's go through the comments. Now, if you all wouldn't mind staying on, yes, save the juice. We did that today, Grace. We did that. We saved the juice. Save the juice. That's what the protein is. We did that. So what we're going to do, we're going to stay on. I'm going to play the track as we go out. It's about a 3-minute long track, and many of y'all in this chat have your shout outs in this song. So we're gonna let it play while we read, while we show all the comments. I'm sorry, I'm tripping, man. It's getting late. Showing all the comments, but thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you for the super chats, Dee, and also a mail to the B. Y'all amazing. Thank you so much. Love y'all to life. So we're going to go out to this track, but we're going to definitely look at the comments as we go out. RMZ, thank you so much, my brother. Can't wait till we do it again.
Absolutely.
I locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. In GLP-1 streets, we moving with pride, here to trend.
Okay, I'm going to make sure I do it right. Here we go, RMZ. Make sure I give us our theme music out. Here we go. Okay, let me check this out. 1 second, y'all. And here we go.
Y'all ready to roll? It's time for the remix. It's time to see that dude parlay Marios Lane in Deez GLP-1 Streets. Known by many as Paul on wheels. We making it do what it does. Letting people know how I feel. Let's roll. Yeah, we talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. In GLP-1 streets, we moving with pride. Here the trends, here the wins. Got creators worldwide, we make it do what it does. Never stopping to climb, living better every day, one step at a time. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. It's Dairy on with the fire, got that GLP-1 feel. Diddy the downside and diva, simply Taisha in the zone. Losing the grades, bring the truth, steady holding her own. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly Pamela moving strong, everybody know her name. Pammy in the mix too, yeah, we shout out the same. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the rise. G's one running balls, baby, locked in on that lifestyle prize. Traces of twine, stay consistent every day. Cookie cheering everybody on in a special way. Maya Mindy holding it down from the start. Purple bell flower slid into them jeans, stayed apart. Held to the beat, keeping the conscience tight. Bar pelt at any cost. Queen of the streets, that's right. Yeah. Chris conquering the scale, yeah, he taking control. Life is shy, glowing steady. Body and soul, reset with honey sub, keeping focus aligned. Grand on his GLP-1 journey review, dropping knowledge every time. Paula doing the thing, staying strong, staying locked in, pushing right along. Just do it, big. You got it, smart. Don't quit. It gets better bit by bit. Ain't me losing it steady, keeping it stride. Founding me in the mix with that purpose and pride. Gen supporting the crew, showing love front row. Carnival muscle bringing discipline to the flow. Keely Eddie from across the sea. A line of pushing through, never quitting the seat. My man G with my rolling life on track. Sweet tea singing while she dropping that slack. Vanity keeping everybody on their toes. Welcome TT to the club, that's how it goes. This toilet review, teaching in the classroom and the streets. Me doing a thing with that grind on repeat. From the south, Kimmy J, now Renee 1C. like Keisha on a journey, chasing victory. Those is a show knees, steady making play. And Jen in the comments, dropping knowledge every day. And if I missed anybody, just know I love y'all. We'll put you in a remix one day. We'll put you in a remix one day. Yeah. Arjadine, Felicia, Murray B, and Joe's cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the light that we see. Welcome to Deez GLP-1 Streets.
Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Good night, everyone.